FC Extra Time brought to you by Globen. Hello and welcome into the ESPN FC studios. What a day, what a World Cup, what a final. Thank you very much for your questions. Craig is here, Ali, Frank Leboeuf as well. Unfortunately, the one person who everybody wants to be here is start packing, ready for his flight. The first question is, only question, they say, where is Shaka? We did discuss whether now he will admit, after saying that Messi needs to win the World Cup to be the best ever. He says he wants to have that discussion when he gets back.
We don't send questions. We don't send questions into Extra Time, but we have had that question in the studio every day since he got on that flight to Qatar. Where is Shaka?
Oh, he's brilliant.
He's had a great time.
Well, he fell asleep in the third, fourth place playoff, didn't he?
Sorry?
Jules told us that he fell asleep.
Well, it's a long day, isn't it? You know, the Middle East temperature, it drains you.
I know. Right at nap time. It's fantastic.
Is anyone surprised, though?
Frank, how did Denmark exploit Canada's back line so well today? Oh, wait, never mind.
I was sure that somebody would ask me a question about Denmark, at the end of the day.
And Canada. Don't forget Canada.
That feels like a long, long time ago now, isn't it?
And Canada. You know what? I like to think that I tried to give my best to countries who maybe, or I think, will never win the World Cup, but
yes.
I thought it was possible. It would be possible, especially for Denmark. I think, again, they did very well during the qualification.
Don't give us a serious answer, Frank. You got it completely and utterly wrong.
We've had this discussion.
Yeah, exactly. Denmark out,
yes,
Canada
but
went.
That's so unfair because they played so well, so I'm very disappointed they didn't go through.
Well, there we go. I'm sure you'll be fine. You've had a long day, Frank, yeah? Because you did French TV as well?
Yes, I started this morning at 1 p.m., finishing at 9 p.m., and then coming over and working for you 3 hours after.
You were much up.
I loved it.
You were much earlier than Frank.
Was I?
Well, you were at, what, 7 a.m. you were up?
To 1 p.m.'s French time.
Yes, I know that. I was giving you some ammunition to complain. I'm surprised you didn't accept it.
He's getting double bubble, though.
Well, of course he is, Frank.
He's getting paid off 2 companies. And I was just, out of the goodness of my heart.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
Professional,
because I said, right, no, I don't even want paid.
Yeah. And then, of course, now there's still only 2 times that France have won it. So his appearance fee won't be diluted by another squad turning up and taking his money in the future. So, really.
Like Raphael Varane brushes up his English and
you think so?
Leboeuf.
Leboeuf.
He'll have to wait.
A big question a lot of people have asked is, was Stevie walking the dog at the 79th minute? This, of course, after the Dutch game where he took Haggis for a walk. Could happen.
Well, to be fair, I don't know how he still managed to miss it, because one of his walks with the dog is probably to the end of the garden and back.
Right, yes. He says he does 5 miles a day with the dog.
5 miles?
Yeah, that's what he was telling me.
Listen, I'll have that bet.
Right.
5 yards.
5 yards?
Yeah, exactly. I saw him with these other dogs, albeit he's been watching this. No, he won't.
No, he won't.
And they were older, albeit. I saw him on the trail a few years ago.
Yes.
The car was parked there, and he never got more than, I reckon, 200 yards.
Right.
And then back.
And then turned round.
Correct. And his excuse was they don't walk very far.
Okay, but Haggis does the puppy, isn't it? 140-pound puppy. Flipping heck. We discussed this on the show. What's next for Messi? Is there a possibility he totally retires from football?
Not right away.
No.
He'll enjoy this quite a bit. They'll have to handle this very carefully at PSG.
Yeah.
And then he's going to have to find some inner motivation. That's not going to come for a while.
He says he's not even retiring from international football.
Well, God bless him.
What's he got, Copa America a couple of years?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Again, at this point, he's playing with house money.
Yeah, do what you want. I'm Messi, I just won the World Cup.
And hey, that's the ultimate trump card. And I just think this frees him up, is what we said in the show. Is I think there's no more pressure on him. So if he just takes it as something he does just because he loves it, he'll play for as long as he wants.
I can't imagine him joining Farmington Country Club, playing golf or doing anything like that.
I'm not a member of Farmington.
Sorry, Farmington Woods.
They don't tell people.
Why? Why? What are they going to do?
Kill me.
They're going to turn up on the first scene.
Hide in the trees and shoot me. I don't know.
That's Cheryl. That's
All right, Is that what that what noise was? Knives come past me and everything.
Aye.
Now, wait, does he play golf?
I don't think so.
I think.
Why not?
Go on, Frank.
I think the guy is absolutely exceptional. You know, remember that contact that he had in first half with Hernandez? That Hernandez smashed him, and I say, well, he's on the floor. He's never gonna come back up. You know, and he did. The guy is strong. He's strong. He's physically, mentally very strong. So I think he can cope with the situation and be still very good and still be Messi for a couple of years. I think. For sure.
Frank, we talked about it on the show, so I'm just going to doctor it slightly. Were you surprised that Deschamps didn't wait till half-time to make the changes, considering he did it in, the 41st minute?
No, because he knew that wasn't working and he already thought about it before the game. And an hour before, as I said during the show, Marcus Thuram was supposed to start instead of Olivier Giroud. So I think Didier Deschamps felt that he had already an issue with the fact that Dembélé and Mbappé don't really defend, or if they defend, they don't know how to defend, and we saw that with Dembélé. So to make the story short, you know, he knew it's why he wanted to change it very, very soon, and it's why he did it before halftime. He said, I have nothing against Olivier Giroud, but I had to quickly change it.
Are you on your holidays now, Frank? Are you done with soccer for a while?
Well, I work next Thursday for you, and Friday, no holidays. I'm going to go to Normandy for a couple of days, but
okay.
That's it. No holidays.
No. All right, then.
Okay.
You're not working for me, you're working for the company.
Carabao Cup, baby.
Carabao Cup, City, Liverpool. What would Craig do if he's facing Emi for a penalty? Will Martinez get in his head?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. I'd try and hit it hard.
Right.
Slew it across him.
Yeah.
And he goes that way a few times. I don't know. He's a big unit, eh? I was like,
Yes. Yeah. And he's got that kind of confidence about him.
He's the kind of goalkeeper I wanted to take a penalty against once.
Right.
And that's it.
That's it. Lloris has never saved a penalty in a penalty shootout. Is that correct, Frank, for France?
I think it is, yeah. Yeah, I think it is. And we saw that today. Like, there were two penalty shootouts that I thought he could have.
The Dybala one, wasn't it? It was so close.
He didn't. Yeah, exactly. But it's always so close, so unlucky. But yeah, it would have been nice to stop one today. But yeah, we weren't confident that something could happen from Lloris, so it happened.
In the subject of Emiliano Martínez, some people are just made for the moment.
Right.
And he just seems to be tailor-made for this.
Yeah. He thrives on it.
He lives for it. It's an environment in which perhaps other goalkeepers are not quite sure as to what approach to take. For him, this is now my time. And I've prepared for this, and I'm ready for this. You're not ready. Whoever is taking the penalty, you're not ready for this. I'm ready for this. And you felt it. It's impossible not to feel it, and certainly when you are a penalty kick taker, it's impossible not to feel it as well. And I think to the point of Coman and Tchouaméni, obviously they felt it.
Yeah.
And Emiliano Martínez becomes a hero.
Ali, you admit, we talked about this on the show, so you admitted before this week you'll switch from Maradona now to Messi?
Yeah, I have made the switch, and it's not easy to do. It really isn't. I cannot understate this, honestly. For me, it's difficult to take that step. When I have played against Lionel Messi, right? And so it's hard to sort of have that feeling about a player who was on the same field with you.
Right.
The Maradona situation is different because he was
He's like on a pedestal.
Yeah, on a pedestal. He's not human. He's not untouchable. I mean, for me, Lionel Messi, again, at one point was a rival. And now I look at him and say, I can no longer hold back. I concede. You win, Lionel Messi.
That's it.
I mean, Maradona wins the partying accolade, don't he?
Well,
I do think just for moments as well in his career, like the run in the semi-finals and things like that, you know, like those sort of moments that Messi hasn't done on a World Cup stage. But overall, like his tenure and the length that he's done it is special.
Yeah, but he still doesn't win the partying accolade.
Well, no, but I think there are other contenders as well as Mr. Maradona.
Have you seen the Maradona documentary,
yes,
the partying and all that? It's just amazing.
Yeah, but I think in Glasgow there was some partying going on as well back in the day.
I don't.
You care to tell us about it? Or?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm talking about Martinez. I won't mention it, but he also had his moment at the end, didn't he?
Oh, yes, that was an interesting decision. Yes, that was an interesting decision with the trophy.
We'll let him away with it because of the moment, but it was an yes.
He was very excited by that moment.
Very excited.
Mbappe not quite as excited.
Not nearly, no.
It was nice to see the French president hovering around as well, wasn't it?
He would annoy me.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't like... I love to see the families and the kids.
Yes.
Been allowed down. I didn't like all the hangers-on, and I include the French president and Gianni Infantino. I just didn't like there was too many what I would call hangers-on around. Just getting in the way.
I thought if you're Mbappe, you don't want anyone talking to you. Surely at that stage, nothing you say is going to make me feel any better.
And to say it one time, a second time, and say it again. And every time he had to come on, then you had to have a word with him again.
Yeah.
He just wants to move on with his life.
What did you make of that, Frank?
I'm with the guys, it's too much. Leave the guy alone, you won't comfort them because they know what they've done and they especially know what they didn't do. And so it's not because the other president of the French Republic that is going to feel, they're going to feel okay, and you can do it once, maybe just to say hi and to be nice, but don't come like many times. But he's been doing that for a while. I remember semi-final, he came into the dressing room very quickly without asking if he could come in. And he was at the door and he said, Lilian, talking to Lilian Thuram, come with me. And Lilian Thuram said, no, I'm going to wait a little bit. I don't want to go there now. The guy was behaving like a kid, and you have to be careful on what you do, especially when you're the president of the French Republic.
Just before we go to another quote, let me tell you about Gianni Infantino, right? no, I'm being serious.
Right.
He used a World Cup that's been pretty exciting, but he used a World Cup that's been shoehorned into the middle of almost all domestic seasons because they couldn't play it at a time when a World Cup's supposed to be played because of the temperatures. So he shoehorned it in. Luckily enough, it's been exciting, but everybody's had no rest, and they're going to get no rest going back, and he uses that time to announce another gazillion games in a Club World Cup. That's how arrogant they are. He couldn't even wait to give us this ridiculous announcement a couple of months down the line. He had to give it at a time when we're already shoehorning games in. Tells you all you need to know.
Is Zidane the next France manager, Frank?
Oh. Southgate.
It's what everybody thinks. It's what I think too. I think Zidane is patiently waiting for Didier Deschamps to leave the room to get into it. Yeah, it's what I think we all want that when Deschamps decides to get out, to see Zizou coming in, maybe Platini as president of the French Republic, the French Federation. That would be fantastic. I think that would be fantastic.
Platini. So tell me, Frank, are Zidane and Deschamps good friends, and Zidane wouldn't rock the boat?
Yes, they go along pretty well. I would say I'm not sure that 100% works out, but they played together for Juventus, and they've been talking a lot together. And I never heard that something was going wrong between the two. But I think Zidane doesn't want to rush and push Deschamps out, so everything's going to go in a nice way, I think.
For all, was this the best World Cup you've ever watched? Frank, better than France '98?
I didn't watch it, my man. I was playing in it.
Well, yeah.
Well, to be fair, you watched a lot of it.
Well, yes, that's very true.
Yeah. I think for me, the '78 World Cup in Argentina was exceptional because that's my first souvenir. I remember some games, even when France wasn't playing, but seeing all those white peppers with Argentina and Kempes, Luque, Passarella, Tardelli winning, that's a fantastic souvenir for me. Even if it was played in winter, even if France didn't do well, that was a great souvenir for me.
It was funny seeing Mario Kempes obviously in the stands. As Frank said, absolutely starting at 78 because we know him as a colleague here who sits near us. And the interactions between him and Stevie are just...
Nobody
Because Mario's
knows
English
what
isn't
they're
very good, and Stevie's English isn't very good, so it just turns into a disaster between the both of them.
Tottenham. That's the one word that is Tottenham.
Mario, did you ever play at Hampden? Tottenham?
Mario, did you play against Scotland in 1978 at Hampden? Tottenham. Stevie, get your coat.
And Stevie doesn't even try, does he? He's just mumbling away.
I haven't seen him for a while, though, has he?
Stevie?
Mario, no, both.
He's been doing a lot of remote stuff, hasn't he, I believe? Yes. OK, right, World Cup, 1982.
I enjoyed this, sorry. I enjoyed that. The one thing I didn't like about this was, and I suppose from a travelling point of view over there, it probably was all right if you're Shaka.
Right.
And others was you could stadiums were maybe 20 mile, 10 mile.
Yeah.
I like, Ali travelled in Brazil. I travelled in South Africa. I like the fact that in other countries that we would call more historical with the sport, you're going to different cities.
Yeah.
And you're travelling and you're getting the experience. I kind of feel here it was effectively man-made for this tournament. Hell knows what they're doing with the stadiums now once they're finished, but I think that was the only thing. But in terms of the football, it was really enjoyable.
Yeah, I think that you look at just purely the matches, I can't remember a tournament where there was so much riding on it felt every game.
Yeah, we just cannot be guilty of being prisoners of the moment. I will say that this is the best final I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I have no doubt in that.
Yes.
I will go back to the 1986 World Cup. I remember the 82, but the 86 is really the one where...
England lost.
Yeah.
Not only, it's when you have that first sort of realization that this is, at least for me,
right.
This is what I want to do.
Right.
This is what I want to do with my life. I want to play there. These are the moments that I want to live. And obviously that was culminated by the goal of all World Cups by Maradona against England, the individual performances of Maradona, and then obviously Argentina winning the 86 World Cup. So that for me holds a special place.
That was the best goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's great.
When Peter Shelton came out.
Yes.
How did the ref miss that?
I don't know.
I mean, why would you have VAR?
I know.
VAR wouldn't have...
Why didn't Peter Shilton get there?
He's 5'10".
What's that Maradona's smaller than me?
Well, he wasn't. Maybe he wasn't expecting him to raise his arm up and punch it in.
Final question, Dan, was the game exciting enough for you? Yeah. Brilliant. As finals go, it's incomparable, I think, certainly at World Cup level.
It's
brilliant.
It'll be a World Cup final that will live on generation after generation after generation. It'll be the standard that finals from here on out will be measured.
Although people will be
against.
watching the first 8 minutes going, what are you on about?
I know, well, just hang on. Just wait.
Wait a minute.
Just wait. It's coming.
Yeah.
And my kids will be telling their grandkids whenever they're talking about whatever final they're watching, oh, you didn't see the 2022 final.
Yes.
That was a final.
Yep. That is it. We are done. Thank you very much. We're not done, obviously, because we're still with you every single day, like a bad smell. You can't get rid of us as our attention turns to the return of domestic football in Europe. We'll be back tomorrow for more. Be sure to join us. Until then, goodbye. Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.